Welcome, friends. I'm not able to get my camera working yet for some reason, but I hope that folks are able to hear me. So do let me know if the chat, if you're able to hear me. I'll get my camera working shortly. Yay, we do see me. So we'll see the rest of my face shortly, but I want to say welcome to 350 Seattle's first ever virtual gala. Intertwined, a celebration of 350 Seattle's roots and resolve. My name is Grace Hope, and I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the Leadership Development Director at 350 Seattle, as well as the 350 Washington Network Facilitator. Tonight, I'm honored to serve as your MC. I want to say thank you to Austin Smith for creating the video we just saw, and a huge thanks to all the beautiful people who appeared in the video as well. Oh, not seeing or hearing. Okay, I see that in the chat. We'll get some tech support here, hopefully, for folks. I want to let folks know that tonight, closed captions are available for our program, and we're putting the link to the closed captions into the chat right now. We're here tonight to find joy in this community of resistance, and we're here to celebrate our community of people who get into good trouble. We're here to share inspiration from those of us who are pushing for change from within. I'm sorry, folks, that my camera's not working. It's been working so great all the way up into this moment. Oh, okay, so folks can see me. Awesome, cool. Okay, so before we really dive into the program, it's important for us to acknowledge that 350 Seattle occupies the ancestral lands of the Coast Salish peoples. The Coast Salish peoples still live on this land, and we want to express our gratitude to them for their stewardship since time immemorial. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. We pay respects to Coast Salish elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events. Acknowledgement is only the first step and is meaningless without education and action. So friends, I would love if you would let us know in the chat where you are watching this program from and whose ancestral lands you reside on. If you're not sure, you can look it up in the awesome link that Emily has so helpfully dropped into the chat for us. And while folks take the time to share where we are calling in from into the chat, I want to share with you all that I'm calling in tonight from here in Tacoma. And I acknowledge that I'm on the traditional homelands of the Puyallup tribe. The Puyallup people have lived on and stewarded these lands since the beginning of time and continue to do so today. I recognize that this land acknowledgement is one small step towards true allyship, and I commit to uplifting the voices, experiences, and histories of the Indigenous people of this land and beyond. Looks like so many welcomes happening in the chat. Lots of folks coming. Oh, folks from all over, not just here in the Seattle area as well. Thank you, friends. So thank you all and welcome. So we're here tonight to raise money for 350 Seattle's work to advance climate justice. Together tonight, we're going to raise $60,000 that's going to be put right back to work, resisting fossil fuels, supporting healthy alternatives, and fostering resilient and just communities. You're invited to support this mission at any time during the program that you please. Simply click the link we're dropping into the chat. I also wanted to let folks know about a really exciting announcement that we're hoping is going to motivate you and inspire you to stretch your gift as far as you can tonight. Thanks to a $20,000 matching gift from Nancy Nordoff, all gifts over $350 will be matched. Yep, you heard me right. All gifts over $350 will be doubled thanks to this match. Also, this is extra exciting. All gifts between $100 and $350 will be tripled. How cool is that? That means that your gift of $100 is going to become $300 in support of 350 Seattle's work. All right, so we would love to take a little look at our fundraising progress so far and see where we're at already tonight. Awesome. So as folks can see, we've already raised $21,145 towards our $60,000 goal. Thanks to our amazing sponsors, ticket sales, and those of you that donated early, we're already off to a great start. And speaking of sponsors, we have quite a number of people that we are excited to thank for supporting 350 Seattle and making our first ever virtual fundraising event a big success. So sponsors, if you're here with us tonight, please say hello in the chat. And I want to say a huge thank you to our presenting sponsor, Corey Yakulik Law Firm. Corey is a tireless advocate for people and the environment, and we are grateful for all she and her firm are doing to hold the fossil fuel industry accountable. Yeah, I see some thanks in the chat for Corey. And we also want to say thank you to our Mighty Oak sponsors, MLK Labor, Plant People Northwest, SEIU 1199 Northwest, SEIU 775, and UFCW Local 21. We also have our Apple Tree sponsors. We have A&R Solar, Amazon Employees for Climate Justice, Puget Sound Advocates for Retirement Action, Puget Sound Solar, Social Justice Fund Northwest, South Seattle Climate Action Network, and Two Sisters Eco Textiles. And of course, we are really excited to thank our amazing team. So friends, when I shout out the group that you belong to, please say hi to us in the chat. We love to see and hear from folks in the chat. So I want to say a huge thank you to our board of directors and say your leadership in our organization is really phenomenal. And I also want to say a huge, huge thank you to our, and hopefully we're getting our, yes, awesome board members in the chat. I want to say a huge thank you to our leadership team. You power this organization, and our 30-member leadership team is made up of team leads, people holding critical roles in the organization, and others in leadership positions. They meet monthly, weave connections between teams and issues, learn together, and collectively make us stronger. So many of you are here tonight, and thank you so much for making 350 Seattle your organizing home. And I also want to say a huge, huge thank you to the hundreds of volunteers who show up at actions, call elected officials, make art, write letters to the editor, attend organizing meetings, and do so, so much more. We would be nothing without you. And of course, we want to say a huge thank you to our passionate and driven staff collective. Thank you so much to everybody for being such fabulous coworkers, and you're such a great team to work with. I know we all try our hardest to nurture an organizing space that's inclusive and powerful. I just have to take a peek at the chat because we have so many folks saying hello. Yes, yes, our team and our board and our volunteers. I love it. Okay, so now that we've expressed our gratitude, it's time to launch into our program. Here to kick things off is founder and senior advisor emeritus of 350.org. His 1989 book, The End of Nature, is regarded as the first book for a general audience about climate change, and he's gone on to write many more influential books and articles. He serves as the Schumann Distinguished Scholar in Environmental Studies at Middlebury College. He's won the Gandhi Peace Prize, and he was awarded the Right Livelihood Award, sometimes called the Alternative Nobel, by Swedish Parliament. Please welcome Bill McKibben. All right, thank you, Bill, so much for that amazing message. Okay, so we are going to have some fun now with some games. We want to give folks a chance to show off your 350 Seattle knowledge, and here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask some trivia questions, and you can type your answers into the general chat. as fast as you can. For each question asked, one of you who participates and guesses the right answer is going to win a prize. Okay, so for the first question that we're getting ready to share, we're going to pick the fifth person to put the correct answer in the chat, and they are going to win a really cute trucker hat and a fanny pack from our friends at Patagonia Seattle. So head on over to the general chat and make sure that your typing fingers are really ready, because we're getting ready to have our first trivia question. All right, we're going to start with a pretty easy one, hopefully for folks. Question 1. What does GND stand for? Is it A, Good Night's Dogs, B, Green New Deal, C, Giant Neon Dinosaurs, or D, Good News Daily? Oh, looks like we've got lots and lots of votes coming in the chat. So many, awesome, so cool. Okay, looks like B is getting a lot of votes. I think that's a pretty popular one. All right, so our team that's working behind the scenes is going to determine which of us had the fifth correct answer, and 350 Seattle is going to send you a, I should say yes, the correct answer is Green New Deal. And so we're going to send you a private message in the chat during the event to let the winner know how to get your Patagonia prize. So be on the lookout for that. Oh, this is so fun to watch the chat as well. Okay. Thank you so much behind the scenes there. And I want to say, are folks ready for another trivia question? Awesome. Okay. This time, the fourth person to put the correct answer in the chat is going to win this prize that's been generously donated by 21 Acres, which is a center for local food and sustainable living in Woodinville. I want to say a big thank you to Hillary Sanders on our leadership team for hooking us up with this prize. And the winner is going to enjoy a cup of tea from Flying Bird Botanicals with a bit of local honey from Georgetown Pantry Supply. Discover other local goods like fresh produce and dairy more with a $100 gift card at the 21 Acres Farm Market. All right, here comes our trivia question. How many individual legislative contacts did the 350 Washington Civic Action Team organize during the 2021 session? Was it A, 350, B, 1,528, C, 11,112, or D, 18,596? And we've got lots and lots and lots of responses happening in the chat right now. This is so fun. Thanks, folks. Make sure that folks have a chance to vote. Okay, so the correct answer for this one is actually D, 18,596. And once again, our awesome behind the scenes team is going to contact the winner in a private chat here in Remo to let you know how to collect your 21 Acres gift basket. So be on the lookout for that in the chat. Thank you so much, folks, for playing along. And I want to say up next, we've got our beloved recent outgoing executive director who's going to share a bit with us about how 350 Seattle has transformed since she joined us as a volunteer in 2015. Please join me in the chat with your warm welcome for Valerie Costa.
Hey, oh, I'm giving you a virtual hug, Grace.
Hi, Val. It's so nice
Thanks for the welcome. It's so nice to see you. And I wish I could see everybody in the audience as well. I would be running around the room giving y'all hugs if I could. So bye, Grace.
Bye. See you in a little bit.
See you. So I joined 350 Seattle 6 years ago. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years. I walked into University Friends in the U District in early 2015, just knowing I wanted to be part of a group working on climate. I'd had my climate awakening in the early 2010s when I realized that the two coal-burning power plants in my hometown were not normal and made the connection. It took me a long time to realize that that the climate pollution, the environmental pollution was causing a lot of health problems and needed to be stopped. And I also saw the power of direct action in stopping that, both through actions that happened and ultimately the power plants shutting down. So when I joined 350 Seattle, when I walked into that room, the room was abuzz. Where Shell parked its Arctic drilling rig in Elliott Bay, people were busily organizing a response to that. Alec had just gone to one of his first meetings and declared he wanted to get the Gates Foundation to divest from fossil fuels before the Paris climate talks. And there were dozens of people there. And I just knew this was a group that I wanted to be part of. It was a community that I wanted to be part of. And over the years, that's what I realized, that not only were we a group of people doing things about climate change and trying to advance climate justice, but we were a community. And by being a community connected, we were much, much more powerful. A community of people who are creative, who are courageous, who are caring, and who are constantly learning how to work together better, how to be in community better, how to be in partnership better, how to be better allies. And that's the thing that I've seen shift over the last 6 years, is that growth together in community. And we have had some tremendous wins. And I think that, like, when you're a climate activist, it's hard to remember the wins because we're always hearing the bad news. We're hearing it and we see it, we can smell it in the air. But we've held the thin green line with our partners and following the leadership of Indigenous people, tribes, people on the front lines here in Washington State and the region. I remember being handed a map of coal, oil, and gas projects, mostly export projects, in around 2015 that were proposed in the Northwest. 26 of them were on the map. Very, very few of those are even a consideration now. Almost all of them have been killed by the movement. We here have helped to birth, we're one of the instigators of the global movement to hold fossil fuel financiers and Wall Street accountable for financing and enabling the industry. We were one of the instigators of that. And so if you've been at a Chase Bank action or any other bank action over the years, it's making a difference. It really is. People are talking about fossil fuel financing. It was talked about at Glasgow. Just this past week, there are countries making commitments to stopping financing the industry. That never would have happened. We know it's not enough, for sure, but we can accomplish so much more by working together and growing the movement. And I'm super excited to share a little bit about the Green New Deal campaign, but I won't say much because we have a panel coming up about it shortly. But that campaign has built incredible, deep partnerships that have led to real wins, millions and millions of dollars of investments in transitioning homes off fossil fuels and affordable housing. We have won real tangible things by working together as a movement within 350 Seattle's community and within the community at large. And we're doing more. So I think it's important right now to just like pause for a second and remember, like really feel into like what we can accomplish and what we have accomplished by working together. So tonight, I'm really excited to announce and introduce you to our new executive director. Nicole Grant is a longtime labor leader who most recently was at the helm of MLK Labor as executive secretary treasurer. There she is. Hi, Nicole. I'm going to intro you a little more. Under Nicole's leadership, MLK Labor gained national attention as one of the most progressive workers' rights groups in the United States. And in the 2020 uprising for Black Lives, it was the only labor council in the country to successfully remove police from its ranks. Pretty cool. Throughout her tenure, Grant forged broad community alliances and led a transition that strengthened Seattle's labor commitments to racial and climate justice. 350 Seattle became a key ally through shared struggles for transformation around transportation, housing, and Amazon employees for climate justice. Whew, amazing, Nicole. I'm super excited that you're coming on as our executive director. And please join me in the chat with your most robust welcome for Nicole. So I'm going to hand it over to you. Bye.
Thank you, Val. It's incredible to be here with you and get to be a part of the work you've started. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you've given to this movement. And I want to say hello to everybody here tonight, comrades, 350 Seattle, true believers, climate warriors. Let's just say we met in the street, and everything I know about 350 Seattle is something that I learned working on a campaign, whether it was supporting Amazon employees for climate justice as they pushed back against one of the most rapacious corporations in the world here in our town, or it was the climate strike, or it was the electrification of our built environment and of transportation. And believe me, as a journey level electrician and 20-year member of that IBEW, there's nothing I don't love about electrification. But one of the things, it's hard to name them all, but the thing most recently that has inspired me so deeply about your work, about 350 Seattle, has been the engagement in the solidarity budget in Seattle and the allyship between abolitionists who are protecting Black neighbors from police violence and housing and homelessness advocates who would rather save somebody who's in danger from sleeping outside through the winter than save money for Jeff Bezos on his taxes. I look at this work in the solidarity budget, this coalition, and this is how we win. I think we all know that we're in a critical moment of climate, and we need to turn the tide. We need to be like the moon that turns the tide, you know? It's not the biggest celestial body, the moon. It's not radiating power, but it is what turns the tide. And even though this work can seem overwhelming, we're enough. When we're with our friends, when we're with anti-racists, when we're with the people who fight patriarchy, when we're with unions fighting bad bosses, we're enough, you know? And we can end fossil fuel. And we can have a Green New Deal. So with that, I would like to welcome Val Costa back to the stage so we can lead us in a toast tonight.
We're going to do a virtual toast. Okay. So I'd like to propose a toast. Everybody, if you have a drink in hand, let us know in the chat what you're drinking. I am having my mocktail with a little fizzy water. What are you drinking, Nicole?
I'm having some kind of cider from Oregon, and it's delicious and also fizzy.
Perfect. All right. Fizzy drinks are the best. So to our audience, thank you for showing up, for bringing so much creativity and love and care to our work together. You've made 350 Seattle a powerful organization and one that will make a difference in the years to come. And thank you in advance for your investment tonight at 350 Seattle. So, Nicole.
Val, outgoing leader, thank you for building it up. To everybody who's here, who's made this organization, to everybody who found some money to keep it alive. Nobody can go. We're in this together. May our best days be ahead of us. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. We need to make a clink noise. Why don't we plan a clink noise? Ding. Yay, Grace.
Oh, what
Oh,
a wonderful cheers. And gosh, I cannot wait for the moment where we get to do Intertwined in real life again. But hey, this is pretty fun.
that's great.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
yeah. All right, friends. I'm
Bye.
already, bye, see ya. So I'm already feeling super inspired and we're just getting warmed up. After hearing about 350 Seattle's recent achievements and hearing about our priorities for moving ahead, I wonder, have any of you felt moved to give? Let's take a little quick look at our fundraising progress and see where we're at. Oh, wow. Okay, awesome. It looks like our generosity is already flowing. We've now raised 28,705. This is absolutely fantastic towards our $60,000 goal. And I want to give folks a friendly reminder too about the match. So all gifts over $350 will be doubled, and all gifts between $100 and $350 are going to be tripled. We'll be thanking all of you who have given throughout the program. And take a peek into the chat where we're going to be shouting out folks' names and thanking them. I've already seen so many names coming through the chat. Yeah, awesome. So much thanks to folks. this chat is epic tonight. Yeah, thank you, Devin Bishop. Oh, this is so fantastic. Okay, so we want to let folks know that up next, we're going to be bringing our panel discussion with our Seattle for a Green New Deal volunteer leads. This campaign has been wildly successful since it launched in 2019. And here to tell you more is the panel's moderator, 350 Seattle's campaign's co-director, Jess Wallach. Jess, go ahead and turn on your mic and your camera and join me on stage.
Hey, Grace. Thank you so much for having me up.
Yeah, oh, Jess, I'm so excited for this panel. I got a wonderful taste of it in the dress rehearsal, and I'm, what can I say? I'm really, really thrilled about what you're all are getting ready to share with us. So yeah, I'm just really, really glad to have you here with us tonight, Jess.
Awesome. Thank you, Grace. It is so exciting to be here, and I can't wait to tell you all about the work that we do. So unless we have anything else to do here, Grace, I'm gonna get rolling.
Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
Cool. Thank you. Hey, everyone. As Grace mentioned, my name is Jess Wallach, and I'm a campaigns co-director here at 350 Seattle. I support our Seattle for a Green New Deal team. And since we launched with Got Green in 2019, we've been building people power to win community investments that tackle Seattle's climate pollution while creating good living wage jobs and healthy neighborhoods for all. In the last year and a half, friends, we have had some big wins. Our panelists tonight will tell you more, but just to give you the highlights, we've organized in broad coalition to win Jumpstart Seattle, a progressive revenue measure which raises over $200 million a year for Green New Deal solutions like affordable housing and clean energy. We're in our second year of the Solidarity Budget, a multi-issue, multiracial coalition that grew out of the uprisings last summer. Together, we advocate for a Seattle city budget which divests from harms like policing and pollution and reinvests in what our communities collectively need to survive and thrive. And just last week, our Solar Schools campaign won $18 million in clean energy investments in the 2022 Seattle Schools Levy. In all of this, I have the honor of working with incredible volunteers. You know, 350 Seattle has hundreds of active volunteers who together put thousands of hours and countless heart, soul, and muscle into our grassroots campaigns for climate justice. As someone who's now on staff, but started as a volunteer, I have deep appreciation and gratitude, not only for all our volunteers, but also for the ways that 350 Seattle creates opportunities for people like me to find their power and place in the climate movement. So joining me in conversation tonight, we have Alice Marabe. Alice organizes with the Pledge of Resistance team to help people skill up for direct action, and with our Green New Deal team to advance climate and labor priorities together. She joined the 350 Seattle community in March 2021. Alice, please join me on the stage. We also have Amanda Sorrell. Amanda started volunteering with 350 Seattle in 2018. From greeting folks at the general meeting to co-leading our Seattle Green New Deal team that helped win Jumpstart Seattle, she's embraced many ways of being part of our community. These days, she co-hosts monthly story circles, a supportive space for exploring and sharing stories. Amanda, come on up. And lastly, we have Aki Chatterjee. Aki joined 350 Seattle last year for her master's in social work practicum. She jumped right into our Solidarity Budget campaign and then helped build our Green New Deal worker organizing project from the ground up. Now, she's a full-time campaigner with Positive Money, an international climate finance organization, and she also sits on 350 Seattle's board. Aki, come on and join us. Oh, Aki, are you able to hop up on stage? Excellent. It is so good to have you all here. I really love working with you and was stoked that we have this opportunity to have this conversation in public, because it feels a lot like the conversations that we get to have in the course of our organizing. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into our questions. Y'all know what to do. First question, what made you say yes to leadership at 350 Seattle?
I believe I'm first for this one, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So I am getting some feedback. Would you mind muting? I'm sorry. Awesome. So why did I say yes to leadership? Well, a few years ago, I joined 350 Seattle, and I was looking for community. And during that time, I played a lot of supportive and background roles as I got comfortable figuring out what this community was all about and where I fit and what I felt capable of contributing. But I did eventually step into leadership. And to be honest, the reason I did that is that I was asked. I was asked by someone who trusted me to step into leadership and who I also trusted. And I'm really glad I said yes, because being a leader helped me grow and do more than I thought I was capable of. I'm not sure anyone ever really feels truly ready to call themselves a leader, but I knew I would have support, and that being a leader didn't mean I would be alone. I had an incredible co-lead and a team beside me as I represented 350 Seattle in a coalition organizing for the Tax Amazon Ballot Initiative. And that campaign strategically created the political opening and the grassroots pressure for an even bigger coalition to win Jumpstart Seattle. And so for those of you who are here tonight who haven't heard about Jumpstart, it is a progressive revenue measure that raises more than $200 million a year for Green New Deal priorities like affordable housing and anti-displacement and clean energy. And so I, of course, really believed in those priorities, and I knew, as we all do, that we needed a ton of money to make it happen. So I took the leadership role before I felt ready for it, and that gave me a chance to model what it looks like to lead while you're still in the middle of learning, which really I think we all are forever. And that you can lead in all kinds of different ways and bring other people into leadership by trusting them the way that you were trusted.
I think I'm next, and I have similar things to say. We're so on the same wavelength. I also came to 350 Seattle because I was looking for community, and I knew that I needed community because I found that it's really always the people that keep you involved in movement work. I think that it's great to be passionate about things, but no matter how passionate you are, that alone is not enough to sustain you, because this work honestly can be tiring and feel like an uphill battle sometimes. So you really need those strong relationships to rely on. And I think powerful leadership just means being good at being in community and at holding relationships and continuing to show up. And I think, I'm honored to be asked to be on a volunteer leader panel. I think that any ways in which I lead others, it's just a result of me working to build my community around myself while I push myself personally to move through the world in a more powerful way. Also, it is really fun to push yourself to do something new and then to be able to help others get to that same place. I, like Amanda was saying, I have to remind myself all the time that sometimes you just have to take action before you feel like you're fully prepared. And this is coming from someone who loves to be prepared. Like, I used to not like to speak up until my thought was fully formed. And now I've become someone who's really confidently taking up space and leading meetings and stuff. And I think organizing helps me with that. I wanted to share a quick story. 2 months ago, I took part of my first direct action. We shut down some banks downtown ahead of the Glasgow climate talks, and my group was mostly newbies. So we asked folks from the Toxic Assets Affinity Group to come in with us to support us. Shout out to the Toxics on this call. And I was so nervous heading into the Bank of America. I was literally sweating and like not breathing. But we went in, we shut down the bank, we held the space for maybe 40 minutes. And when we came out, I felt like I had literally leveled up in life, like you would in a video game, like your little sound, like boop. And I know that next time I can be that more experienced support person for someone taking their first action with risk involved. So leadership for me is just repeatedly going, hey, I just learned how to do this cool new thing. Can I help you also do it? And just making it easy for other people to step up and help steer the ship.
Thank you, Amanda and Alice. So I think for me, I don't think I really had a, this is where I said, yes, I'll be a leader moment. I think my journey through Seattle has overall really helped me step into leadership. So the skills and values that I've gained through taking on various roles, like with the Solidarity Budget campaign, I think are going to carry on with me into my new role as an organizer with Positive Money. So as just mentioned, I joined 350 Seattle last year. And before I even realized more responsibility and slowly climbing up my own ladder of engagement into leadership. So it didn't feel overwhelming because of all the support that I received. It felt more like co-leadership and like we were sharing power. So that was really a great experience for me. And then as Alice and Amanda said, you know, it's really about just acting. I don't think you ever feel fully prepared. I still don't feel fully prepared, and imposter syndrome is very real. But you know, when you are in community together, it's definitely it definitely helps. I think one thing I would like to practice as a leadership skill is what Alice mentioned, is inspiring others to take action. I think here the focus on deep organizing is really critical, which is something that I learned 350 Seattle, and especially organizing labor for a Green New Deal. So deep organizing is a leadership skill that I want to take with me and put into practice as I organize into the future.
Thank you all so much. I'm really feeling the like shared learning, willingness to experiment, try things out, get out of your comfort zone. Like Bill said, the world is out of its comfort zone, and so we step out of ours. But when we do it together, it's a lot less scary and actually kind of fun and exciting. So with that, I would love to hear about a time where you stepped out of your comfort zone, or you tried out something new, and you felt powerful, or a time that you saw the impacts of your organizing.
I'm going to start us off because I'm so excited to talk about our solar school. Last Wednesday, the Seattle Public School Board voted unanimously to add $18 million in funding for clean energy investments to the 2022 capital levy. Such a big win. This funding can be used for projects like rooftop solar that can generate and store energy. So for example, when heat waves knock out all our power, schools can serve as cooling centers and emergency shelter. Also super excited because these investments create good living wage union jobs. So new solar panels means new work for IBEW 46, the electricians union, and the jobs directly benefit SPS students and families because of the student community workforce agreement. That is a direct pipeline for students and families to get into high-paying jobs and apprenticeships in construction, and that prioritizes BIPOC students. So that makes this a model Green New Deal investment, that combination of investment in climate resilience and also racial and economic justice. And I can honestly say that this funding would not be in the 2022 levy if not for our Solar Schools campaign. I think we were the impetus for that, for sure. We saw an opportunity to get the board to put money behind their previous commitment to run on 100% clean energy by 2040. And so my role, along with Aki and Jess and Andrew, we did a lot of your typical organizing stuff to demonstrate community support. We did a petition, we did some emails, we did some meetings, we turned folks out for public comment. But at the same time, labor got activated for solar schools, and that was a huge factor. So SEA, which is the Teachers and Educators Union, passed a solar schools resolution, which was then also passed by the MLK Labor Council. School Board Director DeWolf then introduced an amendment with $11 million in funding, which is later upped to $18 million. And then crucially, Nicole Grant, our new ED, came through in a huge way and got the building trades unions to lobby school board members for the amendment. So everything came together last week on the vote. The board members made very supportive, somewhat emotional comments before voting yes. My takeaway was that they felt the urgency to act on climate, but they really needed this push from us, and that community support and labor support together were crucial in getting this win. So this is just really incredible inspiration for me for future Green New Deal wins. I'll pass it off.
Congratulations for all the hard work that went into that. I'm so glad that it happened. So I think for me, I feel powerful when I take collective action, when we all come together, put our voices together to demand change from our targets. That's when I feel most powerful. My first direct action for climate was with 350 Seattle. And, it felt great. And the whole lead up to the action, it helps you build community. You meet new people, you get excited. Together, you feel like you're part of something bigger, like you're part of a and create meaningful change in the world. And action doesn't have to be a march or shutting down a bank branch. It can be anything. But the part that I like doing is, doing it together. That's the part that makes me feel powerful. So yeah, I really get energized by actions and feel powerful that way. But I think one thing I think about is how we can build and sustain our political power over the long term. So how do we bring more folks into the movement for the long haul? And the more of us that are committed to changing the status quo, putting an end to fossil fuels, committed to combating the climate crisis, I think the more strategic and powerful we can be. Plus, this movement can easily lead to exhaustion and overwhelm and burnout, which is why we need to share the responsibility and share capacity. So while I feel powerful when we take collective action, I also think we need to think about bringing more and more people into the movement to grow our collective power, especially our political power. And again, here, deep organizing would be a critical skill to have.
Wow, you both are so amazing. So I feel powerful right now, but a moment I felt powerful in organizing was, I was talking about that big business tax campaign that I was a part of. And of course, I did feel powerful the day that City Council passed Jumpstart, and we did get some money to put toward a Green New Deal. And when I say powerful, I don't really mean individually, like I felt like I had a lot of power, but more I felt the power of the collective because of the years and years of work put into demanding some type of progressive revenue or big business tax by so many different people and groups against very strong opposition and corporate propaganda. So winning real funding for the Green New Deal after so many years of collective grassroots work that I was really only part of for a moment did feel powerful. But I also think for me, when I think of the word power, it was very much about the journey and not so much the destination. I mean, I love that we won that money, but forming and deepening all of my relationships with the people and organizations who were part of that fight felt very empowering, both in the support that I know I can receive from them, but also the support I can offer and the stronger network that we've all formed in fighting for the same thing. And so continuing to be able to communicate with those people and organize with those people does give me this feeling of power, because I know it is so long lasting and relevant outside of any specific campaign or fight that we're working on. And so I think, I'm really echoing words that Alice and Aki have said, but having leaders build a network of deep and authentic relationships will power the future fights that we're a part of. And I can see that much better after having a chance to form some of those relationships myself in a position of being a leader. So, and that includes all of you, here on this panel tonight, and everyone really in this room. Those relationships are why I do it. And they're what probably will always make me feel powerful. So thank you all.
I love that so much. Come for the campaign, stay for the party, right? You all are a joy to organize with, and those themes of people, power, and partnerships are so resonant in the work that we do together and in the years ahead. So we're going to close out this panel with a lightning round. Y'all know that we've just come through an election. I would love to see any of you in the future be mayor. And if you were mayor for a day, what would you do?
I'm going to say pass the solidarity budget in its boldest form.
Okay, Aki, I was going to say that as well, but luckily they're making all three of us mayors, so I think I would just stop the sweeps permanently forever.
Oh my God, you both took what I was going to say. Pass the solidarity budget, work with the city council to reduce SPD's budget by at least 50%. And then, use that money to transition funds off fossil fuels, transition homes off fossil fuels, build affordable housing, stop the sweeps.
Beautiful friends. Anytime you want to run as a trio for mayor, you have my vote. And thank you so much. That's going to go ahead and close out our panel. Please give some props in the chat to all of our amazing volunteer leaders, and better yet, come hang out with us because the Solidarity Budget campaign is in its final push. We have one more week, and then next year we're headed into some big fights and opportunities around continuing to win funding to transition homes off of oil heat and keep building our Green New Deal future. So thank you, panelists, so much. Grace, I see you're back on stage. I'll hand it back to you.
Yeah, wow, thank you so much, everyone. Oh, yeah. I'm always so impressed by the breadth and the depth of the work that's happening at 350 Seattle. And want to thank you so much to Jess and Aki and Amanda and Alice for sharing your stories. We can accomplish so much when we work together. All right, so our next speaker is an award-winning journalist, a New York Times bestselling author, and a senior correspondent for The Intercept. She's currently a professor of climate justice at the University of British Columbia. Her most recent book is titled How to Change Everything: The Young Human's Guide to Protecting the Planet and Each Other. Please welcome to our virtual stage, Naomi Klein. Wow, what a powerful message from Naomi Klein. It's so good to be reminded that the organizing that we do here at 350 Seattle is happening in the context of a global movement for climate justice, and our successful resistance and solutions work here has a ripple effect regionally and around the world. Tonight, we've heard about how 350 Seattle makes the politically impossible possible by building a resilient community of organizers working towards climate justice. We do this through enriching social and creative spaces, through our ongoing education and training programs, through powerful and authentic partnerships with others, and through volunteer-powered campaigns that set ordinary people on their path towards meaningful climate advocacy in community with others. Okay, friends, now is the time. If you haven't already, please click the link in the chat and make your donation. Remember, we've got a match, so if you're able to give a gift of $350 or more, it's going to be doubled. And all gifts between $100 and $350 are going to be tripled. So we're going to take a look at our progress so far and see where we're at. We'll get our thermometer pulled up, see where we've grown. Wow, okay, this is fantastic. So we are at $35,471. This is great progress, and with the match, we know this is going to do a lot of growing. And we are going to reach our goal of $60,000 tonight. So huge thank you, and please keep the gifts coming tonight. When you make your donation in support of 350 Seattle, your investment is put right to work to support all the organizing that we're doing. You understand the urgency of taking action in big ways right now, which is exactly what 350 Seattle is doing. So click the link that we're dropping in the chat right now so we can continue to take bold climate action. Whenever the next call to action comes, we're going to rise to support that and to provide training, legal support, and make sure that the stories of resistance get out into the world. I'm hoping that tonight some of you are able to join us with a gift of $1,500 or more. If that's within your means, we ask you to make that investment. And we're counting on a few folks tonight to hopefully be able to do that, to help us reach our goal tonight. Along with our amazing policy work in the city of Seattle, pushing for a Green New Deal, we're also advancing sound and just climate policies at the state and federal levels. 350 Seattle is part of the 350 Washington network, along with 11 other independent 350.org affiliates. And together we run a shared legislative campaign called the Civic Action Team. Hopefully folks got to have some fun at the Civic Action Team table today. And as we're getting ready for this year's cycle, we've welcomed over 60 volunteers into our Civic Action Team space from all over the state. We also have a wonderful federal policy team that's building relationships with our congressional representatives, and your donations are going to help support this critical state and federal policy advocacy. We see lots and lots of gifts and lots of thank yous coming in as well. So remember to keep your eyes on the chat where we are thanking folks for our donations. Thank you so much, Meg, for helping us with those. So awesome to see names in the chat. This is fantastic. And with that matching grant, with our match, we get to, yes, okay, all right, cool. So in addition to supporting our campaigns, your gifts are also funding all of our movement support work. Artful activism makes beautiful banners and signs, and art gets our message out in a way that words alone cannot do. The People's Echo is our song circle group that has brought music into the movement, and our actions are so much more vibrant thanks to the People's Echo. So let's keep that generosity flowing, friends. Oh, wow. Okay, now we're at $46,000, $46,111. That's a big number, hard to say, apparently. I see lots and lots of thanks in the chat. Awesome. Abraham Flaxman, Nicole Bradford, Lee Sweden, Catherine Wolverton, thank you so much for donating, and all these fantastic names. We'll let folks know that gifts at all levels, whether it's $5 or 50 or 500 or 5,000, all are invited and respected and will meaningfully support this critical work. We need to keep fossil fuels in the ground and stop building infrastructure like the Tacoma liquefied natural gas plant, like carbon-intensive expansion at the airport and port. And we're holding the biggest polluters and their enablers like Wall Street banks accountable. So thank you to everyone for your contributions. Okay, so we're going to get back to the last wonderful, wonderful bit of our program, but of course you still have time to make your gift. And from a spirit of gratitude, we want to share a really, really special song performance with folks tonight. Femi and Ale are members of 350 Seattle. Femi is a youth climate activist, and Ale founded the People's Echo. Femi and Ale brought together 3 songs that have been close to their hearts during the pandemic. Rise Up by Andra Day, Someone You Loved by Louis Capaldi, and If the World Was Ending by J.P. Sachs and Julia Michaels. They mashed this up with people rising for racial, climate, and earth justice, and also for those of us who have lost loved ones during the pandemic, either to COVID or otherwise. They told us, we sang this with a lot of joy and grief in our hearts. I want to welcome folks to enjoy this beautiful, beautiful song with us. Thank you so much, Femi and Ale. Yes, we can move mountains together. We are rising up for climate justice, and it feels so good that you all are here celebrating and investing in this movement. Okay, everybody, guess what time it is? Time to show off your climate justice knowledge with a little bit more trivia. So head over to the general chat, and we're going to get ready to play a game with some more fun prizes. All right, so folks, you know how this works. I'm going to ask a question. You get to answer in the chat. And this time, the third person to put the correct answer into the chat is going to win an awesome Lush Cosmetics Stop Shower Time gift basket valued at $95, containing 3 shower gels, 2 soaps, 2 shower bombs, a shampoo bar, body lotion, and a shower scrub. Okay, this is a really fun one, so get ready. Here comes our trivia question. The Seattle Police Department compared the Chase Bank Second Ave shutdown action deployment team to what? Was it A, a NASCAR pit crew, B, anarchist rioters, C, a ballet troupe, or D, a circus? Let's see what answers we have coming in the chat. Oh, we've got lots of folks who are fans of A's, but I see some B's and D's. and a C. All right, so the correct trivia answer is A, a NASCAR pit crew. And this is a pretty awesome little clip. I believe it's from a police report where that's where our awesome team was so efficient that it even got commented on in a police report. So congratulations to the third person with the correct answer. Be on the lookout for a private chat message from our team so you can find out how to collect your Lush Cosmetics prize. All right, here's your very last chance at trivia. This time, the sixth person to put the correct answer in the chat is going to win our $350 prize pack containing a coffee card from Cafe Ladro, a $350 Seattle mug, and a copy of the book All We Can Save, signed by one of its co-authors, who also happens to be our own communications director, Emily Johnston. All right, so here comes your trivia question. This is another fun one. At the event Break Free in 2016, what animal was spotted on the van blocking the train tracks? Was it A, a group of dogs, B, a cow, C, a goat, or D, an eagle? Oh, we got lots and lots of answers coming in the chat. Y'all have lightning fingers. C's, D's, A's, B's, a little bit of everything. All right, so let's check out the correct answer with a pretty fun photo. A goat was on the van. Love this. Okay, so congratulations to lucky person number 6, as usual. Be looking forward to a private chat message from us here in Remo to learn how to receive your prize. Nice work, everybody. We are going to take one last look at our fundraising progress. We dropped the match money in, so you're going to see a nice bump on the fundraising thermometer here. Oh my gosh, this is when I said a nice bump, I don't think I was expecting us to go over. This is really, really big. Okay, we have now raised $68,260.99 of our $60,000 fundraising goal. So yeah, I'm seeing tons and tons of applause and thumbs up and excitement in the chat because it's something to celebrate. Oh, okay, cool. This is so awesome. All right, so our program is going to conclude in just a moment. But before it does, a few closing announcements for the good of the order. If you're feeling inspired not only just to donate, but to get involved, please join us for our virtual new volunteer orientation on Monday, this coming Monday, November 15th at 6 p.m. You're going to get to chat with Meg O'Hara and Shimona Moreno. And if you can't make it on Monday, never fear, because we hold these orientations monthly on the third Monday. Look for the registration link in the chat. And if you'd like to get involved with state legislative advocacy, then take action with us on the 350 Washington Civic Action Team. You can see the sign up for that in the chat as well. We'll send you awesome emails during legislative session, and you get to make your voice heard in Olympia. We also want to thank Synchronicity Events for partnering with us to produce Intertwined this year. It's quite a bit different doing it virtually, and we're so grateful to the folks at Synchronicity Events for all the support and helping us move what has been historically an awesome in-person event to an awesome virtual event. All right, so to send you joyfully back to mixing and mingling and to wrap up our program, I'm going to invite everyone who was part of the program tonight to come back and join me on the virtual stage tonight to say goodbye. So Val, Nicole, Jess, Aki, Amanda, and Alice, please come join me as we get ready to say goodnight. Welcome, 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 friends. So one last announcement, folks, feel free to stay here in Remo and socialize for a bit longer. The event's going to stay open until about 9, and you can hop around all the different tables and visit with each other. I want to say a this evening, and I want to invite all of our panelists to come off of mute and make some noise with me as we say goodbye to our guests.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Wow,
Lots of love.
$60,000. I'm so excited. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Blown away. Thank you so much.
Oh, wait, here's my sparkly.
Yeah.
Mocktail. Cheers, everybody at home.
Cheers.
Hopefully next year we get to be in person, but this has been so sweet with you all, and I'm just so filled with gratitude for all of our guests tonight. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.